So they'll be calling you a radical. All hands on deck, all hands on deck. This is about time and place and space. So I was in Idaho last night, yesterday evening. There's some serious resistance finally forming. They've had it with this nuclear cartel. So everybody in New York, all you so-called activists in New York, wake the fuck up. So Rick Perry's committing a hardcore felony right this second. I want to make sure I get this uploaded, why Rick Perry's committing this incredible criminal felony. Him and the congressman from 8th State New York, these criminal derelicts. You in New York, wake the fuck up. 7.6 billion they're looting you at, calling it a renewable. So Rick Perry's at Fitzpatrick with the congressman from freaking upstate right now. They're meeting behind closed doors as I speak with Exelon. Now this is important. Exelon acquired Fitzpatrick after the fact, under the blessings of Obama, under the blessings of Trump, which are identical nuclear twins. Dable Axelrod, they're all in on this orchestration together. Status quo, bank bailout on chemo. You're being looted from hell. This is a hardcore felonies. But that's what the Trump administration does. So did the Obama administration. Trump and Obama, and I can prove that Trump and Obama, I have lots of emails. I mean, I wish somebody, I got interviewed by the New Yorker and the Princeton Review. I remember when I was real sick, and they both says, oh, we can't have this conversation about cancer, it's too hard. I thought you New Yorkers were tough. Fuck, what a bunch of weaklings. Fucking stand up to these monsters. You're really going to let this fucking energy, this poison in the Hudson, fucking destroying you. You don't even use it. It has nothing, it's just a fucking loot job. Rick Perry, so this is important to you New Yorkers. Rick Perry's bank bailout, so we've got two studies that just came out. One concludes that it's going to cost $18 billion a year. The other says $34 billion a year for the federal bailout. A year. Now they want to tell it retro, just like they did here, Dirty Herbie in Utah. Oh, it's only 1.7 or 17 million. They go retro 10 years. So the governing body, which are Trump appointees, which blows my mind, voted on this. The nuclear industry, what we should bail it out. All Republicans, all 5, which blows my mind. 5-0 voted no bailout. We don't need it. So the independent study comes out on the grid. The independent study says we can shut the grid down right here, right now, of all nuclear. Every single nuclear plant today will not affect the grid one iota. Why? Because they're not there to make nuclear energy. There's a lot of money in nuclear waste. Status quo's a crook. They're crooks. Jobs? Buy them out. 7.6 billion, you can buy every employee at every one of these reactors for 10 cents on the dollar of that. Buy them out. You may buy their whole lifetime. What would you make in your whole lifetime? Just give them a check. If that's what it's about, because that's not what it's about. It's the evil cabal. I.B. the handshake with Trump. I can prove that the handshake with Trump, first one in, I was at the White House that night. I took the bus. I was in New York City that night screaming and yelling with the Toshiba ball up there. Westinghouse, Toshiba, all of them bankrupt. I can prove the whole thing between Abby and Abi is the cover-up of Fukushima and this nuclearism freaking cartel. And I can prove that Trump and Obama are friends, and they orchestrated this together. I mean, you want to know who went after freaking Hillary Clinton in New York? Hello, wake up. Barack Obama. I'm telling you. Remember when Hillary used to run attack ads against Bob and say he's propped up by the nuclear industry? And then one of our group asked him on the stump in 2008. And remember, this is propped up by the nuclear, the guy who covered up Fukushima. I told you exactly what happened inside the Situation Room. John Holt. I told you word for word. I could have went to prison for that. But now Holden squealed. They're killing the Pacific Ocean, killing the Hudson, freaking thing, boiling the Earth's water over and over, waste stored all over on freaking site, just making more so they can kill you in New York. And you're paying for your own death. Rick Perry and this congressman are committing felonies. This is against law. He's worse than Hillary Clinton. Let's get his emails. Let's get his server. They're meeting behind closed doors with Exelon? Exelon's not part of a government. What? Rats love nuclear cheese. Let's chop up the nuclear cheese. Molasses wars, textile wars, cocaine cowboys in the streets of freaking Soho, 1970. Freaking the mob, I thought we ran them out of Brooklyn. The status quo. They're chopping up the cheese, the nuclear cheese right now. 7.6 billion. Wake up. Rick, this is a felony. Rick Perry is committing a hardcore felony right now. He's Secretary of the DOE. He's head of the Department of Energy. He's meeting behind closed doors with Exelon as we speak. My guess is probably conference calling with Obama. So Obama on the stump 2008. What are you going to do about Hanford? That's one of our group asking. Well, I got to tell you, remember, this is propped up Axelrod. They're Kissinger's puppet nuclear bitch on a leash. Cover up Fukushima, John Holdren's freaking puppet. I got to tell you, I don't even know what Hanford is. Oh my God, we can't make this up. These are felonies. So, I mean, I got a lot going on. A lot of driving last night, a lot of stuff. But wake up in New York. Rick Perry. And I don't want to hear you going back and investigate it. I tell it as it happens, just like Hillary's emails. I read them online, even the retracted ones. I told you what happened inside the situation, word for word, the cover-up of Fukushima. They wanted to come in, entomb it, whatever. Nanotechnology, John Holdren. Radiate your own men. Make it so. Cartwright. Oh yeah, I told you that about Cartwright. Oh yeah, the guy that got indicted? The whistleblower? Pardon me, I knocked over the freaking nuclear tea, pardon me. Manafort on chemo. Where do you think Manafort? Where do you think Flynn? Where did Jill freaking Putin, R.T. Stein? All roads lead to the nuclear energy cartel, including the freaking theft of the election orchestrated by Trump and Obama. What about the Senate seats? What about the Senate seats? You need to wake up in New York. Wake up, you dumbasses. I thought you were tough. I'm starting to think, whoa, talk about the city that never sleeps. Oh, you're a fucking sleep. Stand tuned.